Either of you guys, tonight is win number 20 on the year. You know, you look at the last 40 years of basketball in this school, not a lot of teams, only 3 actually have been able to do that. I know you're probably sick and tired at this point in the season of just looking at last year and just the wins from last year compared to what you're doing this year, but does getting to 20, does this turnaround, does this mean anything to you guys, just getting to that number in particular, 20?
I feel like as a team, as a whole, it definitely meant something to us. But we know we could be way ahead of where we at this point in the season. So we just want to keep pushing forward and go for 21 and keep going from there.
As a team, Coach doesn't really like to talk about it much, but he brings up the fact that last year wasn't really a good season, and we use that as motivation to catapult us to this 21 season. And we intend to use that, looking back at that, to catapult us to try and get more wins this season.
David, did you want to give Trey a run for steals lead tonight?
I did. I did. I was playing my hardest.
He thought he had me.
I channeled my inner TC.
How much does Coach Danborough talk about active hands and deflections and that disrupting teams?
He talks about that all the time, especially when we're going through plays, playing 5-on-5. You know, he always talks about getting hands on a loose ball, trying to get a steal as often as possible, just to disrupt the offense.
At what point, if it was maybe pre-conference or even before you played game one, when did you feel like a turnaround of this magnitude was possible? When did you think 6 could become 20? When did you think that was possible?
Honestly, I believe that in the summer, after maybe the first 2 weeks of workouts, after I seen the guys and the talent that we had, and I just knew once we all come together and we play and put it on the court and display that, everything was going to turn out the way it should.
How about you, David? Did you sense it that early too, or did you need some games to actually be played before you?
As soon as I got here, I saw the company that was around. I saw we were such a great group of guys, and I thought we could really do something for real. We could turn around. I really thought we was going to go like 30-0, to be honest. That's how much confidence I have in this team.
Okay.
David, you had a really efficient night at the office, so to speak. Does this game in particular, with what you did out there on the glass and just offensively, does this particular game maybe encapsulate just the growth you've been able to display as the year has gone on?
Of course, I try to get better and better each game, every day, and you know I finally got that chance to go and show what I can do, and I capitalize on it.
Jimmy, from your point of view, what was David's performance like tonight? How much of a boost does that give to your offense when he's out there scoring 13 points?
It gives us a tremendous boost. The energy that Dave come in and play with is great for our whole team, and it rub off on the guys. It rub off on me, Day, Tevin, even Trey Will. So, like, especially with that starting group, it gave us a good boost and bringing that energy and being active all on the ball and then scoring down low as well.
Jimmy and then David, if you don't mind. You're getting down to the last regular season game coming up this weekend, and then you get into tournament play. What do you like about the way you guys are playing? What do you think needs to carry over or even be better going into tournament play?
Our coach, he emphasizes communication and bringing energy level throughout the game. And whenever we have dips in the game, like if the other team goes on a run. So we just trying to focus on bringing that energy level and that communication while we're out there on the floor. And I feel like once we keep continuing to grow at that point, we can use that into the A-10 tournament.
Coach D, for a big like myself, he emphasizes post defense and playing hard on defense, preventing the post from getting the ball. And I feel like, you know, with this defensive emphasis, I feel bad for all the other teams who are going to play because they're not really going to score on as much.
You guys, did it take long for you guys to buy into that defensive concept, or is it something you guys felt like you came in with?
I feel like in the beginning, it kind of took us as a whole to like buy into what we wanted on defense as a team. So like as the season went along and we just continued to talk through it, work on it in practice, and go hard every day, it helped us. And then also another emphasis on us being able to stay where we need to be at on defense would be like, I know Coach, he implemented it like whenever you're tired, put your hand up, try to go as hard as you can for 3 minutes, and then come out. So I feel like if we stay with that, we'll be able to stay fresh on defense all 40 minutes and be able to take it from there.
he was basically gonna say what I said. You know, coach tells us to give it all we got for about 2-3 minutes, and just come out and give it. The other guy's gonna do the same thing because he has to. You know, if you want to win, you got to give it all you got.
David, you felt good about 30-0 in the fall. How do you feel about the prospect of potentially 4-0 in a tournament or whatever you're going to need depending on where you guys are? I mean, do you feel like this team is poised to pull off something special in postseason action as you did in the regular season?
Yes, sir. I believe wholeheartedly that we can go 4-0 in the tournament. That's how much confidence I have in my guys.
How was you, Jimmy?
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm already knowing. I already know the faith that I have, and I already know the faith that the guys got in us. So we're just gonna take that to the tournament and do what we do from there.
Anything else for these guys? Thanks, we'll have coaching. Thanks, guys.
George Mason.
We got lights today. I'm trying to do your job, right? that how it works? I thought we played a good first half and then just okay the second half, but that's kind of been how we've been. We've just been a little erratic. I still think we can play better basketball. I think down the line we will. It's hard to explain. I thought Dixon was really good, which really helped us because Reese was sick. Didn't practice yesterday. So, again, it's kind of like what our plan was to make sure we had enough depth in the front court to be able to withstand some injuries and sickness and things like that. But I give Dixon a lot of credit for playing that well.
Does Dixon learn from the older bigs in that room, Austin, Trey? How much has he learned from them? How much have you seen him grow this year?
Well, he's a superior athlete. He's like a greyhound out there. Like he's so quick twitched. He had the little part where his knee was bothering him, so we couldn't get him out there as much. And then we had a lot of numbers at that spot too, which made it hard. But he's handled it like a professional. I really don't want guys that don't want to play. So I mean, he obviously isn't happy he hadn't played more, and when he did get his opportunity, he's played well. But he's a high-level human being, and that's why he was ready to play tonight. And so I give him a lot of credit for that. So I didn't answer your question very well, did I? I mean, we're all involved in making guys better. The old guys help, the coaches help. And Coach Drew always makes jokes about Dixon. He says something's going to happen when Dixon's out there. Now, it's not always good, but it's always something. And you could kind of see it a little bit in the second half, right? He got a little tired, made a few mistakes, but he's active as could be, man. He's like the Energizer bunny out there. He's all over the place.
Keith, what do you like about how you're playing heading into the final regular season game and tournament play? What's something you really want to shore up?
We got to play better defensively, rebound the ball better. We didn't rebound the ball well, but they're good at that. That's typical Frank Martin, Bob Huggins. Obviously he's a Bob Huggins protege. They just beat you up physically and mud wrestle with you. So we got to shore that up. We got to guard the ball better. We have some deficiencies just physically. Like we're playing three guards, so sometimes we're a little small. But we get a lot from those guys too. So thank goodness, Jimmy and Day-Day rebound pretty good for their size, or we'd have issues. So we want to shore that up, and then just our consistency. Just a little inconsistent. But I thought we did a really good job against the zone tonight because we really haven't played against any. And we only half a day prepped it, really, because I figured, these guys are – with these guys, I just try to let them play and just teach them concepts and just let them go a little bit. So, we won when Day-Day shot 4 for 16. Now, I think he made some big ones, but he didn't shoot the ball particularly well. But we did enough other things to win.
Players just both said they thought 20 wins was possible in the summertime. They got here and they felt that this regular season was possible very quickly before you even played. Did you need to see it all coalesce and manifest in the pre-conference before you thought, yeah, 20 wins is possible?
Well, I could tell in the summer we had good skill. We had good skill, and I thought we had good depth. You never know until you start playing. But if you really analyze it, we probably had more injuries and sickness than almost anybody in the league. Now, it hasn't necessarily been our best guys, but we still have had, Barber's out for the year with the wrist. Chabi's missed a million games. RJ missed games early. Tevin Brewer missed games. Trey Williams missed games. Joe Reese missed games. So it took a little longer, I think, because of that. And I still think we haven't played the best we can play. I think that's going to be the next part of this over the next week to see if we can we just got to let our hair down and play. Nobody thinks we can win it anyway. So, we're scary because we can shoot it in. We shot 12 of 28 tonight? And that's what Day-Day's shooting subpar. So, if he shoots at his rate, that's another 3 makes. That's 15 for 28. That's dangerous. Nobody likes that. Now, we got to shore up defensively and rebounding and those things.
Because you have those multiple options up front, because you have guys who can shoot when Day-Day doesn't. does that give you confidence that you can win like a 4-and-4 night situation potentially if you have to? Because player X, Y, and Z might be off game one, but A, B, and C are on, and then you could flip-flop the next night.
Yeah, I think we have enough depth. And I'll take it a step further. McGriff's key for our team. I've said that over and over again. You know, he when he plays, he scores, and he's a good passer as well. So that allows us to rest Grant and Trey Clark, and then obviously Rozier can spell Tevin. You know, so that gives us 5 in that backcourt. And if we have to, we could play RJ at the 3 spot as well if we want to play a little bigger. So we're capable of being able to play 4-and-4 nights, whereas some other teams in the league will have a little harder time with it. But you can't get to 4-and-4 nights unless you win game one. So I just think we just need to go out and relax and play and have fun, and I mean, not let anybody rain on our parade, really. You know, like, I know, like, at Akron, you know, we were in those 9 championship games and 7 in a row, and I never really enjoyed any of them because we were supposed to win them all. You know, that's no fun. But this team isn't supposed to win, right, according to everybody else. So just let your hair down and go. Kind of like when Shaka was at VCU when they were in the Colonial. They finished 4th or 5th in the league. Weren't even supposed to get in the NCAA tournament. Then they shot it at a higher percentage than they ever did in the NCAA tournament and went all the way to the Final Four. Just never know with the team that can shoot it.
Keith, to your point, just among the guys in the court, on the players, is there a benefit of kind of being the hunter, not the hunted, so to speak?
I'll find out. I mean, I think it depends on how you approach it. You know, how do you approach it? Do you come in relaxed? You know, you want to be competitive, but you want to be relaxed. And you have to enjoy the moments. That's what I've been trying to tell these guys. Is just like we played pickleball on, when was that? Day after we got beat, you know. In my old days, I probably would have practiced them 3 hours, you know, but we just needed to just have some fun, you know, just enjoy each other. And that's the good thing about our group. They enjoy each other. Like they were happy for Dixon, you know, because it's been tough for him.
Tim was asking, are you reaping kind of the benefit of surviving through the injuries and sickness? Some guys have gotten this opportunity they wouldn't have had, and now you're a deeper team because of it.
Well, I think that always helps. You know, like early in the year when we didn't have Tevin, we played Q and Matouche at the point. You know, some because, you know, we had to. And that makes you better. And then, you know, we don't have Reese tonight, so Dixon, I was torn between starting Dixon and RJ, and I just decided to go with Dixon because if I started RJ, then I couldn't get all my 5 men into the game. As it turned out, Reese couldn't go as much as I thought he could. So, but you know, if you start RJ and Trey Williams together, then you don't really have a backup 4-man because Matouche isn't there either. So like, there's a lot of like factors that go into it. But I do think we're reaping the benefit of the next man up mentality. I hate using cliches, but it pretty much is. There's no other way to explain it. Nothing from you tonight?
No, nothing from me.
Oh my gosh. It's all right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming. Hopefully we can, you know, I think we have a mathematical chance still, right?
Oh, yeah, Mason's up 3 right now with a minute left in overtime.
So it's, you know, it's possible, again, like I try not to look at that stuff too much but it's possible that Mason could go 11-7, St. Louis can go 11-7, we could go 11-7, and Fordham could all be 11-7. I really don't know the tiebreakers.
Would get it 4th.
What's that?
Would be 4th on that.
Yeah, because we beat VCU, is that why?
That's what it come down to.
If you're in a 3 or 4 team tie with those other 3 or 4 teams.
It goes what your record is against those other 4 teams. So, you know, Mason's the one that's playing really good right now. Like, when they left here, I thought they were left for dead, but he's done a good job of rallying them because they got popped in here and they didn't look like they could recover, but they did. So.
Keith, how many teams do you think chance to win the A-10?
It's a hard question. So if you ask me who I think the best teams are, I can answer that probably a little bit better. Obviously, VCU has a knack. They play hard, but they have moments where they don't shoot it. And then Dayton, to me, has the biggest margin of error because they're the biggest. And they, I think they have the biggest margin of error. I think St. Louis has good ability, but they haven't shown the consistency of the other two teams. So I would say those three are your favorites, but I wouldn't count out like the St. Bonaventures of the world or the George Masons or any of them, really. Because for us, I mean, we probably shoot it better than anybody in the league consistently. If we shoot the ball good for 4 days and we can amp up defensively and rebound a little bit better, take care of the ball. I mean, we got shot. It just depends on who plays, I do know this, that very few times in the last, 15, 16 years or 10 years or whatever, has the team that won the regular season won the A-10 tournament. Is that right? Is that accurate?
It's along those lines.
It's fairly accurate, Don't quote me on it. But I think it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I see it. I don't know if every team in the tournament can win it. I just think it's hard because some teams don't have enough depth, to do it. But I don't see much difference between the Davidsons of the world, the UMasses of the world, any of them really. They all seem the same to me. George Washington's won 9, right? They win tonight?
They won tonight?
They won again, so they won 10. So, when we played George Washington, I didn't think they were very good, but evidently they are because they got those two guys that can go for 50, right? So they're dangerous. So he's done an unbelievable, nobody ever talks about him, but he's done an unbelievable job, at George Washington, so. But we won 20. Nobody would have thought that. You wouldn't have bet your house on that, would you?